Okay. Okay, so you can find your meditation position first. Find a good seat. I have a rolled up blanket behind me. And we will just, perfect. We will just take a few moments here in our seat. You can take a few cleansing breaths on your own. It may look like inhaling deeply through the nose and sighing out of the mouth on an exhale. Sort of settling into your seat, feeling heavy in the hips in the seat, and feeling slightly lifted out of the torso. We're going to try to work through just a little practice, a little breath practice here. I guess the invitation would be, see if you can stay totally present on a complete inhale and a complete exhale for about 10 breaths. By present, I mean, let's see if we can not drift into our stories. And if we do, we can slowly just come back to the breath. So if you want to do some counts on your fingers, on an inhale, mark one down, and an exhale, you can do that. So we're going to just try to hold on to this attention, this focus for 10 full breaths. Just sort of noticing the length of the breath, noticing that little pause in between, and just staying present for all 10 breaths. You can begin on your own, keep track of your own breath. Just noticing how your body rises and falls. Notice if it gets wider with expansion on an inhale. Just staying with the breath. When you drift away, just slowly come back. Without any sort of harsh judgment. When those 10 breaths have finished, just check in, see how you're feeling. You might notice a real decrease in the heart rate from the beginning, feeling a little slower, a little more connected. I do invite you to come up with perhaps your own theme for class today, or something you want to carry with you throughout practice. Maybe just as slowing down, this idea of slowing down for an hour today together. Just allowing yourself to be present in that moment. Whatever you'd like, you can come up with that now. Setting an intention. And from there, you can find a little bit of movement, begin to open the eyes. Maybe begin to roll the shoulders back one at a time, drawing circles. And then the opposite. And then both together. Be bending the elbows, feeling the arms lift slightly. You can begin to inhale, lifting the arms above the head. And then exhale, we'll just do a little twist to the left. So taking your right hand to your left knee, and then the opposite hand will be tented behind your back. Try not to pull too much into it. Just allow it to be natural here. And then we're going to switch sides, inhaling, lifting the arms. And exhale, lower the left hand to the right knee and the right hand, tense, fingers tented behind your back for a gentle twist. And slowly come back through center. We'll inhale to lift the arms once more. And then slowly fold forward. And slowly on fingertips, coming back upright. Today we are going to focus on our lower back. I've been having issues there. I know a lot of other people have as well, just with a lifestyle where we sit a bit more at home. So we're going to work through some floor exercises first. You can find your back. I would grab a block or maybe like a more softer pillow, but firm. And then we're going to place this pillow or block under our sacrum. So you can come to your back first and then just begin to lift the lower back to slide the bolster underneath your sacrum. If you don't have a bolster or a block, you could use a rolled up yoga mat. That would work. You could also use blankets. So just settling in here for a moment, feeling that support under our sacrum. By sacrum, it's very low back. It's really, some of your butt flesh will be landing on the block as well. Kind of, yeah, right at your pelvis bones. You should feel that. So we'll settle into the block for a moment. Taking a deep breath in and out, bent knees. We're going to begin to draw our left knee into our chest. Taking it with both hands, begin to lengthen that opposite leg, the right leg, down to the floor. Or you could hover slightly, just like a couple inches off the floor. So we're really pulling that left knee into the chest, allowing the shoulders to not be so tense. Head is down, and then we're really lengthening out of the right leg. Almost feel like someone is on the other end pulling our foot away from us. We're going to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then we're gonna switch sides. So begin to lift that right leg up, bent knee, clasp the opposite knee into your chest and lengthen your left leg out. We're gonna do this 2 more times on each side. So about a 20 to 30-second count for that hold. And we'll begin to switch again. So bending both knees into the chest, switch the clasp to the left knee, lengthening the right leg out. You can play with hovering a little bit if you'd like, or just keep the heel on the ground. You shouldn't feel too much sensation in the low back here. It should really just be the front thigh here. If you feel any discomfort in the low back, maybe try to adjust your block or put a blanket over your block if it's too hard. Or you can just do this on the floor also. So let's begin to switch. Draw both knees into the chest. Pull the right knee into the chest with both hands. Lengthen the left leg out. We have 1 more time on each side. And begin to bend the left knee in, switching the clasp, lengthening the right leg. Long, really long. Allowing those shoulders to relax behind you. Trying to keep that sacrum pressed down. See that you're not tipping up too far. And slowly begin to switch to the last set on the left leg. So the left leg is long. Breathing deeply. You can begin to draw both knees into the chest now. And we're just going to slowly draw circles with our knees. Feeling a massage on the low back, the sacrum. You might not even have to clasp the knees here. It might just feel good to roll them and allow the hands to be a little more fluid. And slowly begin to roll in the opposite direction. Using those edges of the block to sort of massage into some of that flesh. From here, we're going to bend the knees. We can place them down on the mat. And we're going to come into our figure 4 on the block. Again, if the block is really bothering you, just come down onto the ground. That's good enough. So we're going to take our right leg, place it over our right foot over our left knee into a figure 4. And then we're going to draw our left foot off the ground and put it in a 90-degree angle. And we're just going to hold this figure 4. If you'd like to clasp behind the thigh, you can. If that tips your bottom too far forward, I would just leave it like this so that our sacrum is really still grounded. We're just going to hold this for about 45 seconds. If it feels better to go limp with that foot, you can do that too. But the 90-degree angle feels pretty good for me today. The arms can cactus out if you'd like. Just holding this posture You can gently coax this knee, the right knee, away from you if that feels good, an opening there, or just leave it. Really feel that sacrum melting into the support under you. And slowly release the 90-degree angle in the left foot. And lower the left foot down to the earth, and we'll switch sides. So taking the left foot to the right knee, and slowly drawing your hips forward towards you, keeping that right angle in the right foot. Holding your figure four here. Play with the different holds if you'd like to clasp. Just breathing here. And again, you can go limp with the right foot as well if the 90-degree doesn't work. Or if you'd like to go all the way up. Lots of options. Slowly begin to lower the right foot down to the ground, taking the left foot off of the right knee. You can widen the feet here to the edges of your mat. We'll just allow the knees to knock together. Just resting here for a moment. Now from here, let's walk the feet back in. And we're actually going to remove the block from under us. So just gently lift, pressing into your feet, lift the hips up to remove the block, and come down onto the mat. We're going to move through some bridge poses. We're not going to hold them. We're actually just sort of going to slowly move, maybe a set, maybe 2 sets of 10 or something for our bridge pose. What we're going to do is just inhale, lift, push into your feet to lift up, lift the arms straight above your head, and then slowly lower everything down. So we're pushing into the feet. You can draw the feet in towards your seat. If you'd like to place a block in between your knees to keep yourself from splaying out. Sometimes knees tend to splay out. A block in the knees would help that. So we're just pushing into the feet, lifting the arms, and then coming back down. So inhale, lifting up, arms high. Exhale, slowly lower down. You can do this on your own breath. Let's try to do 10 of them if we can. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. And again, really push into the feet so you're not feeling it so much in the low back, but you're feeling it more through the thighs and the feet. If you don't like the arms, just keep your arms down. And just moving through. And check for questions. We're all good. Okay. When you reach 10, you can just lower down. You can do the same thing, keeping the feet wide to the edges of the mat and allow the knees to fall together. Taking a deep breath there. Just taking a few breaths on your back. Then you can slowly begin to roll to one side and push yourself up to a seat. Now, I'm not sure if everyone has a table or can move, but I do want to show everyone a good option for a really nice restorative hamstring opener. I'm going to move the computer with me, and I have everything set up. So what you would need is a table, a kitchen table, or a higher bed, I suppose. And we will bring, if you have me on your phone, just take me into another room if you need to go somewhere else with that. But I would bring a bolster and all your blankets. But I'll show you what I have in mind. All right, here we are going on a little trip. So here we go. So here's my table, and on my table I have a bolster, a pretty big one. I'm pretty tall, so I need a bolster on my table. You may not. You may have a higher table, a lower table, or you can use your bed again for this, or even a counter. What we're going to do is pretty simple. We stack everything up so that the top of the stack aligns with your hip bones and where you bend. So I'm going to simply bend forward and hang over on my table. And it is a pretty epic hamstring opener. You want to be about, with your foot placement, about hip distance apart. And you can keep your knees bent a little bit if you'd like, or just keep them pretty strong and straight. Not hyperextending, but just strong. And we just kind of lower everything onto the table so that we're making about a nice 90-degree angle. You could bring an extra blanket for the head. But this is it. You feel it right away. You can play with your low back, placement here. You can try to spread the hips out, just kind of pushing your fingertips into the butt flesh and sort of spreading, drawing everything out. You really feel it in your hamstrings. And we'll just hold this for about 3 minutes. But you don't need a bolster to do this. You could use a big blanket stack. It's a really good stretch for home if you have a table or a higher bed or something that you could lay over like this. I'm keeping sort of light on the feet here. I'm just surrendering the torso into the support. I could probably go a little bit lower here, but it still feels pretty good. We'll just hold this for a few more minutes. When you're ready to come out, just come out slowly. Maybe lifting the head first, and then slowly walking yourself upright. And then we will slowly come back to the mat. All right. Here we go. All right. So once you find your mat again, take your time. We can come onto hands and knees. Might feel good to move through a little cat and cow after that exercise. Again, if you have access to, if you have access in your house, I would probably hold that last one for about 5 minutes if you want to practice on your own. So you can just move through cat and cow, maybe just barrel rolls or C curls where you just peek over at your hip and make a C with your spine. Moving through on your own breath. If you'd like to come up into a down dog, you can do that here. Just slowly walk through it. Just keeping your breath. From here, let's plant the hands and staying in your tabletop. We're going to, let's lengthen our left leg out to the side. So it's about hip distance. And we're just, you can flex your toes behind you or keep them pointed. I'm gonna flex them. We're slowly gonna sit back into our hips. Feeling a really, you may feel a pretty strong stretch right in the inner thigh, and then come back up. And we'll do that again, sitting back on an exhale. Maybe staying here for one round of breath, and then coming forward. And slowly sitting back. Coming forward. Sitting back. Coming forward. Do that one more time on this side. And slowly draw the left leg back in to your tabletop. And then we'll do the opposite side, lengthening the right leg out about hip distance. That's where the foot will be placed. And then slowly sitting back on the heel and coming back up. And kind of adjusting your position as you go, seeing how it feels. You might need to walk your foot out a little bit. Coming forward, sitting back. Coming forward, back. We'll do one more round. Forward, and then back. forward. You can draw that leg back in. Okay. Going to move into a quieter restorative practice now. Let us set up for our simple supported back bend. So let's take our blanket and prepare it. We'll have, if you have a bolster, the bolster can go in the center of the mat. If you don't have a bolster, I would take a blanket and roll it up. So get it folded in half maybe, and then tightly roll it. So it looks like this. If you have two blankets, you could roll them together if you like it bigger, but one roll should be good enough. And then with your other blanket, you are going to create a little shoulder cradle, if you will. So I folded my blanket over a couple rolls, and that's where my shoulders are gonna go, and then my head will just go on the blanket. So it's gonna look like this. And I'm gonna put it at the top of my mat where my head's going to go. And then my bolster is going to be going basically right, my bra line will be around here, where I wear a bra and where it tends to go on my back. So that's kind of where the top of your bolster or roll will be, like around your bra line. And then to get into the position, you can literally just sit here and drape yourself back. Or if you'd like to sit on your side in front of your bolster, you can kind of come on it in a little more delicate way. So if your bolster is too big, this is a little bit of a bigger bolster, you may want to go with a blanket instead. But the idea is your shoulders will be supported with your blanket roll. You may have to adjust that, and then your head will be on the blanket, just a single roll. So if you have a big bolster like I do, and it doesn't feel great, then I'm gonna use a blanket instead. And then we'll set up the shoulders. It's basically so the shoulders aren't floating in midair. So we want a little support for them. And then the head. And then our arms are going to go straight out. If you like them up in a cactus. Knees bent. You can keep your feet wide and just allow the knees to fall together, or just keep the knees bent however you like. So when it's my roll, it's still around my bra line. It is the top of it. That's kind of a good starting point. It should be more of an opener. It shouldn't be a lot of tension on the low back. It's really more in the middle of the back, the arch. Once you're settled, you can take a deep inhale in through the nose. And then exhale out of the mouth, sighing. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You can slowly begin to follow that breath, that inhale all the way from the bottom, all the way to the very top of the breath. Maybe once you get to the top of the breath, you think I can add actually a little bit more. Just take one more deep little inhale. And then once you're at the top, we're gonna hold it for 4 counts. So holding 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly, slowly exhale out of the mouth. When you reach the bottom of the exhale, we'll hold it again for 4 counts before inhaling again. Just gonna work on this breath practice while we're in this posture. It's a good heart opener and it's pretty easy to access breath here. So inhaling very deeply all the way up through the top, through the torso, and holding for 4 counts when you reach the top. If 4 doesn't work for you, try 3. And then slowly, slowly exhaling out. And again, holding the breath for 3 to 4 counts. Before you inhale, all the way up to the very top, holding for 3 to 4 counts. Maybe continue this practice for 3 to 4 more breaths. And slowly releasing that practice, just allowing the breath to be natural here. Now that we've moved into more of the restorative, the slower practice, we're really trying to cultivate and create this space of calm. In restorative yoga, we're trying to access our parasympathetic nervous system. So our fight or flight, we want the opposite end of that, the calm. So unfortunately, it does take effort to access calm. So in restorative, we're really trying to create a space for calm. Maybe doing it in a quiet, dark room, lighting candles while we do it, whatever you need to create a space for calm. And comfort is ideal. And a breathing practice is also ideal. So what we last did is supposed to sort of slow down our heart rate. And for me, at least, it's immediate. it's an immediate calm after I work on that practice. We'll hold this posture for a little bit longer. Just breathing here on your own. And slowly begin to draw the knees together. And begin to press into the feet to slowly slide that bolster out from under you. Coming to your side in fetal position. And slowly coming up to a seat. For the next posture, we're going to be coming into a supine twist with support. So let's take our blanket that we had rolled up by our head and let's fold it lengthwise so it's a little bit longer. And set that aside. And we're actually going to put our bolster back to where it was, or our blanket. And if you've done supine twist before, this is basically the same thing without, but it's just adding some support. So for me, you can come down in this on your back first and then put your support under you, lift up your hips, or you can just sort of fold over it like I'm going to do here. So it's going to go around the same place. So we're going to come in onto our side. Before we open up our arms into supine twist, we're going to take that blanket and put it in between our knees. And then from there, I have my support in my middle, similar to where it was before. I'm going to draw my hips back a little bit and slowly open up my arms into supine twist. The arms can be cactused out. Play with the position of the hips if it's too open for you. Maybe you need to come a little bit forward. Maybe the hip placement needs to go a little more back or forward. If you absolutely do not like this support, take it away. You can put it under your head or your neck instead. Or play with a position. So our knees and feet are stacked. We're slowly lowering down, and then we're opening our chest. Just checking in with the face here, anywhere in the body that feels tension, just seeing if you can release it a little bit. Allowing our earth and our blocks and our support to support us. Begin to think about how you want to switch sides here. You may want to come totally out of the position. In that case, come into your fetal position and slowly push yourself up. If you'd like to just draw the knees over to the other side slowly, scooting along the way, you can also do that. And slowly finding the other side. And slowly begin to come through onto your, left side or right side. Slowly coming off the bolster, and you can come up to sit when you're ready, taking your time. For our next posture, we are going to do our supported child's pose. If you have only blankets, you would want to fold them up to sort of create a bolster, the shape of a bolster or a pillow. So I'm going to fold mine in half again, and in half again. So it would look like that for a blanket. I'm going to do it with a second blanket. And stack it on top. So with blankets, this is how it will look. If for some reason you also have a couch pillow that's longish, you could stack that on there. You can go crazy, do as much as you like. And then from here, if not, it would just be your bolster. And we're sort of sitting back on our hips here. Our knees are wide. And we're going to put our prop sort of a little bit in between our knees and slowly begin to come forward. So our toes are touching as they would in child's pose, and our torso is just draping over the support. Arms can be straight out, they can be cactused out, whatever feels good. You can maybe wrap them around the edge of your prop. And just release onto your prop. If you'd like something underneath your feet, if there's a little gap between your feet and your seat, you could put a little pillow in between. We're going to stay in our supported child's pose for about 5 to 6 full minutes. And switch the position of your head. Checking in with your breath. See where your thoughts are right now. Just noticing what's going on without judgment. You can slowly begin to contemplate your exit. Be lifting up the head for a moment, coming up onto forearms, just sort of walking yourself back into your seat. Taking a moment in your seat just for a minute. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling out. Maybe moving through, rolling the neck from one side to the other, making half moons, tucking the chin. Coming back through center. We will have one more restorative longer hold, and then we'll move into Shavasana. So for the last one, we can do either legs up the wall, or you can, if you have a couch nearby, you'd like to put your legs up on some support, you can also do that. So for legs on a chair, or legs up a wall, I suppose a little support under the head would be nice. I would just do a tiny little roll for the neck. You can always add on to that more when you're laying down if you like 2 rolls, 2 folds, and then your head will go here. So wherever you want to lay, place this first blanket where your head will go. And then the second blanket, just keep off to the side. Keep that folded up pretty tight. So to come in, slowly sit on your side, slowly come onto the floor and roll up. My couch is here, so my legs are up right away. I'm gonna position my head and get comfortable. You can do the same thing for legs up the wall. And when you're laying in the posture finally, it might be nice to have a rolled up blanket just kind of placed on your middle. And then arms can be out to the side, wherever feels nice, palms up, palms down, your choice. And just settle in. If it's legs up the wall that you'd like to do, you're gonna get pretty close to the edge of the wall on your side, like so. And put your hands behind you and just slowly lower yourself down and get those legs up. And again, you can put support under your neck just a little bit, not too big of a roll. Or perhaps you just like it under your head. And then again, you can put another blanket on your torso. Just find your breath when you find your perfect position. Allowing the jaw to be loose, releasing the tension from the eyes, from the forehead. Any tension in the shoulder, just let that go. Acknowledging your presence here right now, your presence in self-care, allowing yourself a moment of rest, cultivating space for calm. Just checking in with your breath, checking in with your thoughts, just noticing where you are, coming back to your breath. If you have legs up the wall, maybe try flexing, pointing the toes. You can do that also if you're on a bolster on your couch. If you like this posture, you can stay in it for the remaining 4 minutes. Or you can come slowly down and roll onto your side into a fetal position, and then slowly sit up and come back to your mat for Shavasana if you'd like to lay flat. If you'd like to take Shavasana a different way, you can always lay with a bolster or your blanket stacked up under your knees. Or if you'd like some spinal support, you can lay on your bolster lengthwise. Put a blanket on top and lay down this way. It's your choice, dealer's choice. Settling into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. And slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Be moving your head from side to side, lifting your arms for a final stretch. And coming out of Shavasana at your own time.